Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Very pleasant good afternoon wherever you are out there watching in TV land. I am Caleb Hart and he is Ben Iman. It is time for Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And Ben, last week's show had a lot of interesting stuff. It was the most high-flying show I think we've had here of Home Track Heroes, between spec trucks getting in the air and monster trucks getting up in the air. We flipped a legend. We bumped it to pass. We did all kinds of, we flipped people off. It was awesome. Today, we're hoping for something a little more subtle, a little more controlled, a little easier going, right?
Absolutely.
Well, all right. So we're going to start it off by going with 22 Hornets on a road course. What do you think?
I think nothing screams docile and put me to sleep like a lullaby like a Hornet race. That is all sarcasm for the fan at home.
It is not going to be anything like that. 22 cars here in the B feature for the PRCBD Hornets coming out. And we do have a lot to show you guys today. Bumped passes back on the script. Spec Ranger trucks will be here again and more. So let's take a look at your lineup. Jacob Funk on the front row in the 8. Next to him, it's Carly Gosler in the 5 out of Sultan. Sponsored by Ready National Pest Eliminators. Alicia Dixon, the 91 out of Marysville, the Three Brothers Garage Car. And Lila Mashburn, the 31L out of Marysville, the General Car Wash Machine.
Matt Finch will pilot the 74 today. He's out of Sultan, sponsored by Heath Waterlines. Starting next to Donna Gillespie in the 024 out of Salem, Oregon. Waltz Woodco aboard that car. The 20W is our friend Lucas Walker out of Marysville, starting alongside the 193 of Annika Duncan out of Ravensdale.
In row number 5, Jeff Christensen is in the 23B. He is in the Klein Rentals car. Outside of him is Andrew Zachary in car number 39. 6th row, Joseph Villarreal, the 029 out of Vancouver, sponsored by Full Throttle Graphics. That's Vancouver, Washington version, not Canada version. And next to him, John Shukar, car number 202.
The 86 machine is the other Three Brothers Garage machine. This is David Dixon out of Stanwood. He'll start next to the 131 of Brad Ferris. Dan Tungle pilots the 236 out of Lake Stevens Blue Skies Electric aboard him. And the 01 is Tanner Bjornson out of Arlington, All Ply Roofing aboard the Bjornson.
Let's go back a row. Calvin Delaverne out of Snohomish, the Rep and Welding and Rail, number 46R. To his outside, Bryson Wingfield in the 65 out of Monroe, sponsored by Papa Tony Hill. Behind them, Kalia Reardon out of Granite Falls, Reardon Racing, number 15R. And Derek Myers in the 73.
Rounding us out today, the 810 machine of Cameron Iverson, he's out of Buckley, and the 14X, Jacob Levitt, also out of Buckley, and sponsored by Cameron Iverson.
Hey, some duality there.
Yeah.
It matches. One of those things is like the other.
It's like poetry, they rhyme.
All right, so we're ready to go. Donna Gillespie is the in-car shot. Big thank you again to Brandy Hood Promotions and Saxon and Ashley for running all about the pits. Ashley, not so much as the pregnancy continues on, but, you know, E for effort, that works for me.
Absolutely, and we are away, and we're going to go quickly 3 wide in spots. Looks like a great getaway for Carly Gosler, and Donna Gillespie probably had the best jump of the bunch. Here comes the 024 to the inside for the lead right on lap 1 here. So they go down into the hairpin. We're running what looks to be the reverse road course today.
Reverse road course sounds right.
So they're going to have to come back around across the the figure 8 intersection there. And across the line, it is Donna Gillespie who jumps to the lead in lap number 1.
Now, these are not long races, the B-Mains. They only have 20 laps to sort this all out. And top 4 cars, if they want to move forward and jump into the back of the next feature, they've got that option, or they can take the trophy and load her up and go home for the night. I know this is a stressful course. There's a lot of speed here and a lot of wear and tear on the bodies and the race cars coming through.
Absolutely, and you need things that definitely, it just screams speed, like the pool noodles off the back of Andrew Zachary's 39. Is how I always know which car is Andrew Zachary's. It's the pool noodles waggling outbound around the back.
Never really caught that before.
He's the pool noodle punisher, Caleb.
The pool noodle punisher.
That was the bump to pass nickname for a long time. We'll maybe get to see Andrew a little bit later in the program as well.
Well, those $4 worth of pool noodles hanging off the back of that really do make a difference in terms of identifying it. That is Dan Tungle, who's got the 263 put back together, and if that's the pool noodle punisher, is Tungle the Uke Tire Destroyer?
I would have to say he definitely is definitely the destroyer. I do want to know, is that the same car that got absolutely punished, or?
I had a chance to talk to Dan about a week or so ago, and what I had heard was, yes, he was fixing, replacing, and getting the 263 original version back in order.
Well, you know what? Props to Dan and the team there with the 263, because that was a pretty hard hit the last time they were out on the Raptor Claw. Looks like we're looking at Lucas Walker trying to go down the inside of Carly Gosler. This is the battle for second. Gosler with a nice bright new green scheme and a nice little 5 graphic there, making the car a little bit more noticeable. Oh, big breakup from Dixon. Oh, Dixon's Myers. A lot of cars collected, Caleb.
Annika Duncan got the worst of it to start with in the 163, so taking a look at that. Did not catch the replay of it. You saw it in real time, and that's all you're going to get to see of it on that one.
That was a tough break there for a couple cars, but that'll cause us to grid the field back up and get back started. Green flag is out. Looks like, is that Lila Mashburn who's inherited third? Andrew Zachary's trying to go down the inside and inherit that third position. I know Zachary would love to move up into that A main if he has the chance.
Right now he's got it, and you got to watch out if you are in Mashburn's position. There's a lot of fast cars coming after it, including the aforementioned Tungle. Really nice job swimming the rear of that car and picking up position number 4. You've also got the 029 fishing around looking for room. That's Villarreal trying to make a pass. And
I'm also watching Tanner Bjornsson, the 01, making his way forward. A couple of cars in this field, youth Hornet graduates from last season. You would have had a chance to see them on the 1/5 mile if you came out in 2024. In 2025, you're getting to see them take to the big Hornet courses. So good to see a handful here of youth Hornet graduates making their way to Hornets for the first time throughout a couple, this year. Tanner Bjornsson ran some Hornet races last year, but this year, full season in the Hornet division.
You will also get a chance to see those youth Hornets coming up. They've got A-main action here on Home Track Heroes over the course of today. Right now, this is your look out front. Donna Gillespie is the 024, and Lucas Walker is the red number 20W running in second. And then behind them, and this is probably 6th on back as you're looking at it, there is a bunch of race cars battling for spots.
Yeah, I see Ferris in the 131. Derek Myers, that 73, typically had been running Stingers, I think, primarily, but is able to make the jump, run some Hornet competition now. And, of course, change in the offseason and rules allowed these cars to come a little bit closer, the Hornets and the Stingers. And you've seen probably more cars run double duty this year, I think, in Hornets and Stingers than you have previously.
And Myers has come a very long way, too. He started, I want to say, 20th out of the 22 cars. So Myers has made progress. As we look at the battle for 4th right now, Dan Tungle, the black with white 263, and following him, that's Joseph Villarreal looking for position.
Yeah, definitely. This is the last transfer spot, too, so you're going to want to make a move forward, and you don't want to leave yourself late. We're looking about 11, 10 laps to go. Make the move now and get comfortable, and, that way you don't got to worry about it if you want to transfer.
You would think with a field like this, a B-main, and on a road course, and in Hornets, that you would be prone to some yellow flag stoppages, but that's really not the case here. These divisions run super clean comparatively. Yellow flag's not guaranteed.
No, caution flag's not guaranteed. These cars are smaller. Definitely they're just the size of your average street car or street, two-door machine. And, there's, because the course is so big, the field can really spread out. And, it looks like maybe problems for Walker. He was slow there for a moment. Now some door banging action. Here comes Bjornsson into the picture. This is the battle for the last transfer spot, Caleb, and it's between 3 cars right now.
Yeah, you saw Tungle have to lift because Lucas Walker slowed kind of out of nowhere, came into the screen. When you look at it, Zachary handled that a lot better than Dan did as they're coming in, but Dan is just a rookie, albeit an old one. So he is getting a lot of experience here, and now he is up to threatening for position 3. You want to get out of 4th. That rocking chair position is high stress.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to move your way forward, and if Lucas Walker's having issues, having to slow up, then, that 3rd place isn't going to be safe either. So if you're Bjornsson, you're Villarreal, you're pushing it, and you might be sending it a little bit tighter. We're going to go on board here with Dan Tungle in the 263. You can see kind of washing up the track a little bit, setting up his move inside down towards this back Uke tire transfer, weight transfer section.
Just not quite enough power by the way he floated off the corner to get him there, but he's got a really good run. Little bumper love coming to Walker's 20W. Walker's going to push through the corner. Does he drift high enough for Tungle to get down low from the in-car camera? Sure looks like he does.
Yeah, side by side. I'm watching this battle here. Oh, Walker got real squirrely. So did Villarreal. Bjornsson had to swerve. Lots of cars getting loose there out of turn. I guess that's 2 of the 5/8, but 3 in this course. or excuse me, 2 of the 3/8, not of the 5/8.
Yeah, naming the corners on our road course, which changes all the time, is very difficult.
That's true.
Good enough. So Tungle moves to 3rd, and now Walker is sitting in position number 4, and losing ground is Tungle, still trying to roll in on Zachary. He wants that spot. The final transfer, though, battle is on between Walker and Villarreal.
Yeah, here comes Dan Tungle. Gonna get a good run here on Zachary if he can set up maybe a crossover move, looking to the inside. Zachary's going to cover himself, try to defend from that position. Walker's still hanging on to that last transfer spot. Dan Tungle's all up the backside of Andrew Zachary. This is a great onboard we're getting with Dan. Lots of action from the 263.
He hit him hard enough that it slowed the car up, and Walker drove back in on him. Walker now closing back in for 3rd, as Tungle looking for a way to set up Zachary. Zachary losing that half a horsepower from the pool noodle drag into the 4th turn on the 3/8.
Oh.
As no, gonna hold that line down to the bottom and looking good. Tungle misses the slowing car. Does he put the left side off into the green grass? He does not. But they battle coming into the sharp weight transfer section.
Yeah, Tungle's going to try to make the high line work. He had to brake real hard there. He's going to have to get back to track. Lost some time there on Zachary, and Walker's actually going to sail through. Dan Tungle, a little late on the brakes, going to lose him a spot. Lucas Walker's back up into 3rd, and now here's Joseph Villarreal side by side with Tungle in the last transfer spot. Bjornson's still in this battle. He's still hanging around. This is going to get hot with 3 to go.
4th and final transfer position. Call it the rocking chair position. You rock forward, you're fine, but you rock too far back, you lose the spot, and you're off on your butt.
I like it. The rocking chair position is...
Steal it. It'll be good.
I will. The battle getting hot will be 2 to go. Walker able to hold on at the line, and these cars maybe starting to pull away from this. All of this battling going on has just meant Donna Gillespie's been, hey, I'm checked out, I'm gone.
Perfect for her.
I'm safe up in the top spot right now if I want to transfer. I'm not worried, and these cars aren't getting to me, although it looks like lap traffic, heavy lap traffic coming into the play here, Caleb.
Ooh, and Tungle might have overshot the corner just a little. Fights to get back to it, and he'll hold off Villarreal for now. Down to 2 to go. It's a good lesson in defensive driving for Dan. And Villarreal is going to have to make something happen because you can't bank on the rookie making a mistake. It may not happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to make your move here. Zachary's going to maybe looking around, or excuse me, Walker's going to look around Andrew Zachary. Oh, Villarreal, or excuse me, Gillespie high up the track. Zachary comes side by side. They're coming across cars, door bang, and Walker gets shot. The run to the line, give it to Donna Gillespie.
So Gillespie holds on Zachary and Walker, and Tungle held on to the final transfer spot from what we saw there. So that's it. We are done as interesting B main. And again, we'll see some of these drivers transfer up. We'll see some of them maybe head to the trailer. Right now, Youth Hornet time. I promised you guys some Youth Hornets, and here they come. This is our Youth Hornet A main event at the division brought to you by Nelson Motorsports. Row number 1, it's Harley Jenkins running the 5J out of Maltby. It's the I Hit That Motorsports car. Kylie Ansurian, the 67X out of Snohomish. James Peak, Honest Transmission. They make up the front row. Second row is Caleb Williams out of Gold Bar in the 50. And Jacob Levitt, the 14X out of Buckley, sponsored by Cameron Iverson.
Mason Blodgett will pilot the Allied Motorsports 43. He's out of Lake Stevens, starting next to Alexis Tubbs out of Monroe, sponsored by DL Enterprises. The 4 machine is Taylor Thompson of Snohomish, Weather Right Roofing aboard the 4. The 32 is Sawyer Holden, also with Weather Right Roofing.
And it's Hawk Jenkins in the back of the field, the 35J out of Maltby, the second I'd Hit That Motorsports entry. So the Jenkins is flanking the field at the very front and at the back. Multiple feature winners on the year in the class and in this lineup as well. So that ought to be a whole lot of fun. And boy, that Hawk Jenkins car looks awfully different, does it not?
It does. It does look different. It is a different car. I think when you can just see they've been working on the car. That is River Peters 44 that Hawk is borrowing for the main event.
We would say that it's so he can stay in the points, but there's no points in this class.
I think this is just because Hawk wants to race.
Hey, not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all. The Speedway Chevrolet pace car will take the hard right. And we're going green. The field kind of spread out, and Jacob Levitt said, I'll take it.
Look at that. Jacob Levitt jumping into the early lead here. Look out. Bumper cars.
Oh, Harley Jenkins got loose there, gave Alexis Tubbs a door slam. And now looks like who's in the lead? Is this Caleb Williams is in second. Kylie-Ann Surian got to the lead at the line, but we're going to have to call this thing back. There was just too much going on.
All right, so we'll watch it again. The 5J of Harley Jenkins. Look out, swerving, Mervin in and around. Caught that piece of Tubbs. And here's what it looks like again. Look out. Right rear to the door panel of Alexis. One more time down the back straightaway, sends them all flying. Here's from Hawk's point of view. Car looks like an old school Hornet back when we required all of them to be yellow and black. Can you imagine the announcer's nightmare of that one?
Oh, no.
From down the front straightaway. And here's the look as they head into turn number 1. We've got more racing coming up after this. Stay tuned. You're watching Home Track Heroes here on a Sunday afternoon on Seattle 11. Well, just about ready to go back to action here at the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornet A main event. It says we got a lap in. I'll take their word for it. My name is Caleb Hart, the king of locking his keys in his truck. Ben Iman has joined me as we are ready for 19 more laps of Youth Hornet action. Up front, single file, Kylie-Ann Surian, the 67X. That is 14 of Jacob Levitt in second. And through all of the fun of the opening lap, Hawk Jenkins went 9th to 3rd.
Well, Hawk showing his Youth Hornet experience, moving the backup car forward, and the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets restart single file, and of course Kylie-Ann Surian is going to capture that and drive away.
Got to say a big thank you to All Ply Roofing. They are our show sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. Wouldn't be possible if not for them. And Hawk has got some serious smoke coming out of the 35/44/ whatever the heck we're calling that car. As you can see it coming hard off the left rear corner panel is what it looked like at turn number 2, but we'll get another look at it.
Are we sure that's not just like a Speed Racer style smoke screen?
You could say it would be a 007 James Bond, not let the guy show behind you, but you look at where that's pouring out from, and that it's a strange smoke ball coming.
Yeah, that's not, I think, where I would typically expect that to come from. And there goes Hawk.
Yeah, Sayonara, something not good on that car. So move forward into position number 3, Mason Blodgett in the 43, and Sawyer Holden. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are racing a Porsche in the Hornet division. He is barreling in for 3rd, coming off the corner, and he has got it. Nice move, Sawyer.
Yeah, Sawyer Holden keeping up the name and pushing that car forward. It is fun to see a Porsche in Youth Hornet competition next to cars that look like an old Saturn that I drove.
Well, we got to thank the fine folks over at Chain Lake Express Car Wash for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat yourself, treat your favorite ride. It's the professionals at Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Chain Lake Express Wash has multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and needs. If you have got a Porsche non-race car version, bring it over to Chain Lake. Take good care of you.
Absolutely. I'm going to go take my truck to Chain Link after this.
Once you get the keys out of it.
We've reacquired the keys at this rate.
Fake news. It is Jacob Levitt leading Sawyer Holden coming off the corner. That is 2nd and 3rd as Kylie-Ann Surian taking advantage and trying to get away from these folks. We have seen Holden's got a lot of speed when he is able to just be in flat-out speed mode, but here in race mode, this slows him up a little bit. We also have another somebody fogging for Skeeters out there, and I wonder if that's your leader.
No, I think it's the return of Hawk Jenkins.
Hawk Jenkins, speedy and foggy.
Yeah, I still think he's trying to deploy his smoke screen, and I don't think it is quite working. So Holden's going to give maybe Levitt a little bit of bumper here, but it's all kind and courteous here, and we'll go on board with Levitt. You can see the trail of smoke in front of him. It's, hey, you know what, follow the path, I would say there.
Right.
Maybe running a good line around the track.
Good to know where Hawk is at all times. As you can see, look, and it is really turning into a smoke screen for these drivers. There goes Holden. He's got to move to the inside. Sawyer Holden's got 2nd.
Yeah, good move for the 32. He set that move up for a couple of laps, and now with 9 to go is able to make it work. Sawyer Holden motoring, see if he can get to Kylie-Ann Surian before the end of this race.
Time is not on his side. We're 12 in, 8 to go, and we haven't seen Surian in picture now for a hot minute. Now, mind you, we are pretty well zoomed in, but there's a look at Kylie-Ann, and boy, she is flying in that 67 car.
Yeah, this is a new 67 after they had some issues with the last one. Looks like trying to put Alexis Tubbs a lap down here.
You can also see they're on a little bit of an extended course as they have pushed out the back straightaway. It's more of a tri-oval, not exactly tri-oval-ish, but you do spend a lot more time turning on that back straightaway than usual.
Correct.
And puts it a different angle coming into the corners. And Tubbs doing a good job of holding her spot. You're a lap car. If you don't see that blue and yellow hold your line flag, you're under no obligation to let somebody by.
Correct.
By no means is she running the 67 dirty. She is just running a real strong race line. And Surian, having to use the front bumper, gets by Tubbs. Also saw Jenkins get a little sideways. Sawyer Holden, though, 4 or 5 cars back and having to pick his way forward to get there. Oh, Tubbs got another front bumper from a car trying to come through.
Yeah, Sawyer holding a little bumper there. We see the mystical, magical Zoltar that is Hawk Jenkins appear through his smoke, and looks like Kylie Ann's able to get away. The smoke is, oh, no, there it is. It's, Hawk is making it maybe a little bit harder, previewing maybe a drift con coming up with some of the tire smoke.
I cannot tell you what the heck that is. Like,
it's intermittent, too.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? It's not when he's picking up on the throttle, obviously, because he's on the throttle in the straightaways and it's not really smoking. Hard to say. And that's why I'm not a mechanic or crew chief or in charge of race cars. As we get the white flag for Kylie Ann Surian, looking to win in her second different car here of 2025.
Yeah, one more time. Sawyer Holden's going to give it a good shot, but I don't think he's got enough time. Jacob Levitt's kind of just been able to run his own race in third, so rolling around, crossing the checkered. Kylie Ann Surian's going to pick up her second or third win here of the year.
Yeah, give second to Holden, third to Levitt. David Nelson, Elevate Media with the drone shot as we'll go to the podium.
Jacob, third place tonight. How was it for your first doubleheader weekend?
Oh, it's so awesome.
Getting to run that car around there had been a lot of fun. Who helps get you out here week in, week out?
God, Mom, Dad, Nana, the Iversons, and everybody who supported me.
All right, let's give it up. Third place tonight, Jacob Levitt. Sawyer, good run tonight. What is it like getting to run that course as a tri-oval with that little extra room compared to just the traditional oval?
Well, it's basically the same thing I'm running on a normal oval, but...
Do you feel like you get to carry more speed maybe around the turns, or is it pretty much the same all the way around?
You're definitely going faster on the backstretch, that's for sure.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
My Uncle Jeff, my Nana, my Papa, LB Motorsports, and Holden Development Group.
All right, let's give it up. Second place to Sawyer Holden. It's getting windy up here. New car, obviously we noticed, so didn't really have much of a test session, kind of came out for the main event, but done the top step. How has that process been for you guys?
It was crazy. It was really last minute. We were either going to paint the car tonight or race it, and I was like, I want to race.
Racing it over or painting it, definitely. When you guys are running that tri-oval, is that a different course? Do you feel any different in there, or do you like it any different compared to just the normal oval?
I usually run it sometimes when we do the oval just to make up time, but it's just really fun, and it does carry a lot of speed. I almost hit rev limiter a couple times.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
I had to make a cheat sheet. But thank you, Stefan, with Simply Rocks. Thank you, Aaron and Ron Pye, for doing what Rich Toon couldn't do in 3 weeks and 15 minutes. Thank you, Waltz Woodco, for the car. Thank you, Chip Happens. Thank you, McCarthy Electric, Higher Standard Construction, Reppin' Welding and Rail for the amazing cage. And my dad, my mom, my brothers, everyone that just came out here, all the fans, and yeah.
That's it. We'll give it up one more time for your race winner, Kylie Ann Surian.
I like the fact that Kylie Ann had her baseball/softball jersey on underneath.
It's a Chip Happens jersey.
That works. We are ready for the second running of the Spec Ranger trucks here on Home Track Heroes. They were on last week's show. Jonah Vick, the inaugural Spec Ranger truck champion of the world. Maybe not champion of the world, but he won race number 1. Let's see how he does in race number 2. The front row is Kevin Kaufman. He is in the black and red Ardor Painting, number 33 truck. 27 truck is Shane Bear Construction on the 27. Jonah Vick, he was the winner. That is the 17 truck, and he is sponsored by Icon Shocks. 13 truck is Mac Higginbotham. Bear Construction on the 13 as well. We should thank Bear Construction. I believe they're the guys who constructed our ramps that you see out there.
We have to thank Whiteside Steel as well for helping make these ramps possible. You see the ramps on the front stretch. They're going to jump those. And also we have to point out Higginbotham has googly eyes on his car.
That's fantastic.
Is there a speed advantage to something like with googly eyes that you can compare to pool noodles or window tint?
Not yet, but give me a minute. I'll find a joke to make as we are up and running, and you'll note that that ramp is widened now on the front straightaway. It is now wide enough for 2 trucks to go off it.
That's right.
And that's what they did.
Dual ramp action. So these cars now can go side by side. Of course, they are allowed to avoid the ramp if there's a safety concern within the vehicle, or they don't believe that if they're worried about that. But they must take the long way around the ramp, which in this case is head right towards the wall.
Right. So, Ben, this is a Ford Ranger truck division only.
Correct.
Not like the truck that you have your keys locked in outside.
No, I wanted to enter my nice 2009 Dodge Dakota, but I was not allowed.
It is not a Ford Ranger.
It is not.
They are allowed to make a modification to the shock package. There's a spec shock package because obviously shocks in this division are going to get a whole lot more travel than your typical street Ranger. They are allowed different coil springs in them, or leaf springs, I guess, depending on what the truck runs. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check on that. And then I believe it's otherwise pretty stock. Put a roll cage in it and go.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple different engine package selections you can pick from based on different years that the Ford Ranger was run.
Has to be a 4 or a 6 cylinder though.
Correct.
Yeah, you can't drop an LS. You can't LS swap one of these.
Correct.
As you watch, that is Kevin Kaufman taking the lead. Shane Bear pulled off there. You saw him not hit the ramp, and away he went. So it's Kaufman who ran second for most of the race on the inaugural one. And now Jonah Vick looking to go 2 for 2 in spec Ranger truck action.
The biggest thing that I think we've been able to pick up, watching these trucks practice a little bit, and now here on race day, is it's not necessarily easy to get to the truck in front of you. There's definitely, you can see these machines are definitely heavy. They don't turn super well. They don't corner super well. So you have to definitely be an all-around racer to be able to pilot one of these around. And something I think we have to note too is that I believe for at least two of these drivers, it's their first time out here at Evergreen Speedway. Period.
Right. We have seen Vic run a whole bunch of stuff over the course of the year. They were drifting for a little while. We know how good they are in stock 4-cylinder divisions, mini stocks and such like that. So the Vic brothers, they can definitely get the job done. They've got experience here at Evergreen Speedway, and that shows with Jonah chasing around in P2. It looks like Bear has her fixed up, but opts not to take the ramps right on his first back and on the racetrack.
That's all right. I'd rather have them on the track than no ramp than ramp and not on the track.
They also have a spec wheel out here in this division, and I want to say it was Raceline Wheels who was providing those through Tire Pros in that group. So Tire Pros definitely with a finger in getting the right tires on these trucks as the battle for the lead is on. Kaufman in the 33, Vic in the 17 coming after him.
Yeah, these trucks are motoring. You can definitely see Vic's trying to run down Kaufman. Great shot here with the drone as they take the jump. You can definitely see how violent that landing is, too. The rear end of the truck bed just slaps down to the concrete.
Yeah, and then they're into that tight first corner on the 5th mile. A lot of this is going to be not scrubbing speed and getting through the corners. You mentioned they don't corner super well, but at the same time, you can get through that turn and scrub less. You're doing better than the next guy.
Yeah, and Jonah Vick talking about doing better than the next guy. It's got to run down the inside. Will they trade some paint? No, they stay clean. Racy Raccoon's car has moved through that section, so that is no longer an obstacle, and Jonah Vick's able to get to the lead. Yeah, I tried to tell Racy, not a good place to park your car, and I think he learned that the hard way, and I'll leave that there.
That's Rapid Raccoon.
Racy might have a thing or two that he needs to get checked out.
I would agree. Your new leader is Vic. Kaufman 2. Bear is a number of laps down and in behind them, and we're getting the in-truck view from Shane Bear, complete with air filter inside the cabin. I love that.
I thought that was a drink holder.
Well, okay. I don't know where to go from that. If you're trying to put your drink in an air filter, We're going to need to learn.
Looks like a nice place to put my keys.
It would be outside the truck is preferable, sir.
True.
As it is Vic and Kaufman really going after it. Big old slide out there costs Kaufman a bit of room, but then he carries more speed back into the corner, try to get him, and Bear says, I want to race. I might be laps down, but darn it, pick me up a spot.
Yeah, that 27 showed a lot of raw speed. We saw they actually had a big mechanical failure. They had to replace that whole rear axle when it took the jump in practice one of the days, and it didn't like it, but they got it fixed. The truck's back out here, and now we're going to go to the rear end with Jonah Vick, and he's getting a lot of Kevin Kaufman down the rear and up over the jump. You can see the violent with that slap down on the rear view camera.
There's a lot to take in here from the rear truck view here. As you can see, the fuel cell that they have, everything that's plumbed off that to get fuel to the engine, and how they have that protected as well on the truck bed. Interesting positioning of that, but looking at it, looks like Kaufman also has the fuel cell in the truck bed as well.
Yeah,
So.
looks like maybe that might just be where these drivers have opted to, might be the safest position. You know, you're able to kind of weld it in there, and hopefully it won't go anywhere. 1 to go as they come across the white side steel jump one more time. Whoa! Kaufman got a couple little drops of more air there. He bounced off the concrete and caught some more air.
Slides the back end out. He's going to try to make the momentum pass here. Vic holds strong, pushes him wide, as it's him and Kaufman, the black and red truck. The white and red truck is a lap down. Coming after it here at the end, but heck, he's getting racy. He's trying to figure it out.
You know, these trucks are still figuring it out, and looks like maybe problems for Kaufman. He slowed up there just a tad bit, but is able to get it going through that tight corridor and coming across the line. Checker displayed. Jonah Vick jumps to victory, and Pix goes 2 for 2 in the opening Spec Ranger Truck weekend.
Kaufman gets second. This is technically third. Matt Higginbotham getting some clean laps unto himself out and around.
He's also got the fuel cell in the back.
Smart. That's also the crew cab version, or what, justifies as a crew cab in a Ranger. I've sat in the back seat of a Ranger. There's not a lot of space.
No, I don't even have a bench in a Dakota.
Well, if you hadn't left your keys in there, maybe you could change something. To the podium we go to your top 3.
Part 2 of the doubleheader debut. Truck feel any better this time around?
Running better, had a few issues with the last lap there, but huge shout out to Vic Brothers Racing. They've helped us get this going. It's been a lot of fun. And a huge shout out to Shane Bayer Construction. He's pretty much helped me put my whole car together. That's about all I got.
It's cool to see that number 13 out there. Is it true this is your first time out at Evergreen Speedway?
Yes.
How's it feel to be out here at Super Speedway of the West?
It's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, especially with this group of guys. It's a great set of guys.
Third place tonight, driver the number 13, Matt Higginbotham. Turn around here, you were right there running with Jonah for a long time. What more do you think you needed to get to him?
Well, just more time in the truck. Those jumps are pretty brutal. The trucks are holding together, but we're just learning, so it's fun.
Taking your first few laps out here at Evergreen Speedway as well. What's it like running this course?
Oh, it's a blast. The Vic brothers did a great job with the ramp. It's super fun to jump. You guys got to get one and come do it with us.
And who would you like to thank for getting that car to second place tonight?
I'd like to thank Ardor Printing. They wrapped the truck, looks great. Vic brothers for doing all this, and just the guys for racing. It's a good time.
Driver the number 33, second place tonight, Kevin Kaufman. Now, unlike the others, you are no stranger to Evergreen Speedway. 2019 Mini Stock Champion. Do any of those skills carry over here into Spec Rangers?
The driving does. The trucks are pretty hard to drive, so are mini stocks. Just learning from mini stocks how to set up a race car, that transfers over still. The trucks are a little bit different, but I mean, for the most part, getting your spring rate right, tire pressure, toe, that sort of thing, it all transfers.
We up here in the stands get to see you go over those jumps, see the suspension react. How are you doing as the driver in those situations?
It's a little rough. You can probably see that. We're still working on the shocks. We've been working with Icon, trying to get some different valving and making them catch the trucks a little bit better. It's a work in progress.
2 wins in 2 nights. Who do you got to thank for that one?
I got to thank God for keeping us all safe tonight. I got to thank Evergreen Speedway, all the staff out here for letting us just debut a new series. Vic Brothers Racing, my brother, for giving up his shop for 6 months to build the truck and build some ramps. Icon shocks, Raceline wheels. I got to thank Ronell from Whiteside Steel, Bear Construction for providing all the materials over the ramps. Yeah.
Driver the number 17, your winner in the Spec Rangers, Jonah Vick.
Already a ton of fun here on our program today. Big welcome back into Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. I am Caleb Hart. He has been Ironman. It is mini bump to pass time. For the second straight week, we have little baby cars doing bump to pass things. Should be a lot of fun here on the 5th mile. Lineup looks like this. Scott Kiesling is the 24. To his outside, Devin Jenkins in the 195. The second row is Tanner Bjornsson. He's in the 01. And it is the second appearance of Andrew Zachary on the program, although he doesn't have the pool noodles on that 39 car. Sponsored by, in the 39, we call that the Little Tyke.
We're moving on. Brittany Muma is in the 56, starting next to the Super Sprinto Pinto, the 23R of Hunter Jenkins. We'll move back in the field. The 187 is Elijah Whitney, and he's starting next to Captain Chaos himself, Jacob Funk, in the 8.
Tegan Bjornsson, the Slam County Sheriff, in the 59. To his outside, Jacob Thornborough. The Tragic School Bus is the 07. Row behind them, the 02 of Blake Williams. The 17 is Blaine Muma, the Purple People Eater, and Annalise Smith is the 27, the final car in the field. So, there's 13 of them. It is bump to pass, Ben. Bump, not necessarily crash, but you do need to make some kind of contact with the driver in front of you as you go by him.
You do have to make some sort of contact, although it is prefer that I ask these drivers to full send it into each other and commit all sorts of violent crimes that they wish that they could commit in their Hornet, mini stock, and other type division races.
Now, I'd like to point out to you, the 23R of Hunter Jenkins, you call that the Super Sprinto Pinto. That's not a Pinto.
Well, it's a little late for that. That name has stuck now for a while.
It's a station wagon, complete with a micro sprint top wing. That is former Deming Speedway track champion top wing, Dylan Resch's top wing. And he did a good enough job of crashing that onto his own. He didn't need Hunter's help.
Well, you know, I think Hunter's just doing his best that he can and looking good while he's doing it.
All right, you keep your attention there as the 187 of Elijah Whitney has already lost a front wheel. And we'll tell you that Evergreen Health Monroe is your Sky Valley hospital of choice. Serving multiple cities in Snohomish County, Evergreen Health Monroe will take great care of you.
Well, Devin Jenkins is getting, that's the remnants of the Hornet car of Tanner Bjornsson. That is not the same car. But
Oh, Tanner Bjornsson taking a shot. Look out.
Oh, Captain Chaos. That's rough luck for Tanner Bjornsson.
Sends him skidding. Big thank you as well to All Ply Roofing. They are our segments. They are our show sponsor here.
Correct.
Home Track Heroes. Big thank you to them as the bump to passers or bump to passing.
Yep, they're coming up on Annalise Smith, the Knucklehead. Oh, big shot there from Funk. But good job, Jenkins able to keep it underneath him. The Purple People Eater, Blaine Muma's charging hard through this field. Again, it doesn't really matter where these drivers run. Oh, big shot there, and a big stack up Bjornsson.
Wow.
And Annalise Smith almost ended up in the wall. Oh, it's right there, and you can see the lights of bar. The tragic school bus slips on through, and so does Tegan Bjornsson, the Slam County Sheriff.
I absolutely love the Thornborough design on this. Zachary getting turned around on the front straightaway.
You can see the Little Tight car trying to do its best competing. It actually meant to come out for the Power Wheels Derby, but we had to settle for mini bump to pass.
With the lights blaring on the Slam County Sheriff, he is coming up to take on the school bus, and does he have the shot? He takes the shot and gets him around.
Come around the 02, Blake Williams in the Temu Outlaw, trying to move his way forward. Not sure. Oh, there's Bjornsson parked up on the banking. That's a tough break for the 01.
Williams is sitting in 5th right now as we score.
That's a very solid run.
The car's too clean. Somebody needs to wallop him.
Well, they're going to catch him because Jacob Funk leads, and if Captain Chaos knows one thing, it's definitely bumping cars and bump to pass.
Well, he's in danger because Devin Jenkins is right there.
Yep, there he
and
goes.
Devin Jenkins says, mine.
Devin Jenkins moving his way forward. Looks like Tegan Bjornson has inherited third and fourth, and there's Thornborough, and here comes Captain Chaos. Oh, the Slam County Sheriff might have sent it in a little too deep.
Recovers just in time to say hello.
And dumps the knucklehead.
I love it. Now, the wagon in behind the school bus is smoking a little bit. That's not
fine.
good for corner speed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Up and around goes Captain Chaos. Do you know how I know he loves America the most?
How?
Puts the flag on his car.
Well, you know what? That's a good point. Although one of those flags is pointed the wrong direction.
Is it?
I think this one that.
Sir?
And then we flip around. No,
Yeah.
okay. No, I'm wrong.
Do you know the proper way to display the American flag?
The way that Jacob Funk has it displayed. I think those are also on the back of speed limit signs.
Gotcha.
So, you know what? Jacob Funk showing what he thinks of speed limits.
You may not know how to take your keys out of your truck, but you know the right way to spin a bump to pass car. Look at that, Captain Chaos getting Thornborough around pretty well. As we need to bring this race here to a stop just so we can get some cars out of the way. There's a few that have slowed down. So let's take a look while we begin to clear those cars at all of the destruction that you may or may not have
Elijah
caught.
Whitney started the race. The car's for sale. We can see why. And he heads straight to his local Tire Pros dealer because...
oh, there goes the tire.
That is not how... Yeah, that is not how... Tire Pros will fix that up for him.
Yeah, Tire Pros, that tire wanted to get off in the 5/8, but Whitney said, oh, no. All right, there's Bjornson. Nice front shot there. Needs some new hood pins for his trunk.
I think...
Look, let me just flap it.
I think Devin Jenkins could use a pair of racing gloves. So could Jacob Funk.
Oh, Jacob makes it by, though.
Good save there. Here's Bjornson. Is there an air freshener on that car?
There should be. Well, or that's just a receiver hanging off the mirror so he doesn't lose it. I don't know. I'll have to take another look. All right, so from Funk, who doesn't even have a mirror to hang an air freshener off of.
No, or fuzzy dice. These cars need some fuzzy dice.
Nor safety gloves. Come on, guys. Fireproof everything else and then leave your hands to burn? Silly.
Now look at the great Jones shot of this stack up. We missed Muma just hitting a Uke tire over here.
Straight up Uke tire violation coming out of the corner.
Oh, my God.
Here's Muma. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Well, that couldn't have been intentional.
Or maybe he was heat-seeking Uke tire?
You never know. Let's go back because we still have like halfway of this race to go. Devin Jenkins leads in the 195. Tegan Bjornson is second in the 59. That's according to the ticker,
Yeah,
and the ticker
ignore
may
that.
not be right. So,
Well, the ticker might be right, but that is right. So Jacob Thornborough starts second, runs third.
Okay.
The Slam County Sheriff, this is the battle for the lead. The Slam County Sheriff is trying to move his way forward here, see if he can get around Devin Jenkins in the 195. Gives him a bump there. He's clear to pass.
finally a chance to muss up the Williams car. Get there. Yeah, get you some out of the Brady Hood Promotions GoPro shot.
Well, that Temu Outlaw showing what happens when you order from Temu. Not able to survive that one. Oh, the little tyke, the trunk is up, or the hatch is up.
No good.
Did he just wave bye-bye to it as it drove by? Tanner Bjornson just waved bye-bye.
That dude is a fiend. Sell me that Tanner Bjornson bump to pass shirt and sell it to me now.
Oh, Andrew Zachary is dragging something. I don't think those wheels are working.
Ooh, I like the fact that Andrew is dressed up like the road cones that he's probably been practicing hitting.
Oh, so the Slam County Sheriff, Jacob Funk leads. Somehow in all of this, Captain Chaos got to the lead. Now the windshield wipers are on the Slam County Sheriff. I'm getting a report there. His taser went off in the car and caused him to slow down.
I just love the fact that he's got gambler written across the top of his window in decals. Does that not say mini bump to pass? I think so.
I also think a school bus with warplane paint.
Where in the world did Saxon mount this camera? Oh, look at Thornborough weaving and swerving, trying to get into Zachary, and Zachary's, I'm out. I'm getting out of the way.
That's fine.
It's down. Oh my! Look at the camber on that left rear.
The little tyke is still rolling.
Speed secrets, baby. Speed secrets for the lead. No, not the lead. For third-ish or something.
Is that still, I think, just the stock dash inside the Slam County Sheriff, too? Does the air conditioning work? One of the Bjornsson's going to have to let me know if the AC works.
You know what he's saying? It's getting hot in here. Bring me all them trophies.
Oh!
Checkered flag was supposed to be out. Okay, it's out. Bjornsson going into reverse to try to hit people. That doesn't work like that. There's the real checkered flag. Slam County Sheriff finished somewhere. I think Funk won. I don't know. Let's go down. Let's let somebody sort this out on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Devin, it's chaos out there, to say the least. When you're just trying to point the car forward and make it to the end, what's going through your head in these ones?
I don't have any mirrors, so I don't know what was happening behind me, but I was hoping I wouldn't be put into the wall or tires.
Well, you stayed out of them, kept the car clean, especially by your standards, respectfully. Who would you like to thank for getting it to here tonight?
The Funk family for letting me race that car since mine took a crap. My mom and dad for letting me do this class, and everybody who helped me get here.
Driver of the 195, the Chimera car, Devin Jenkins. One would expect a school bus to be slow, but looks can be deceiving. Where did the inspiration for that car come from?
Kind of a combo of things. Before this, I ran a Honda Civic that was all smashed up, real tiny. A lot of people complained it wasn't a big enough target, so I got the biggest target I could, and also is free.
Hey, there you go. Free's the nicest price of all. Who would you like to thank for getting the tragic school bus here to P2?
I gotta thank Diesel Doctor, Raymond's Ground Keeping, my brother Brian, my mom.
Yeah. Driver of the 07, the tragic school bus, Jacob Thornborough. I called it chaos earlier. You're Captain Chaos, and you proved it tonight, taking it home first. How do you handle it out there in the midst of everything?
Stay out of the way, don't get hit, don't pop a CV axle like I did last night, and just kind of keep her pegged and just wham, bam, 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 bam.
Question number 2, you've got 2 street signs there up like wings. Do those make it faster?
Yeah, 100%.
I trust you on that. Who would you like to thank for getting to P1 tonight?
My dad for running to go grab the parts for it. The Jenkins family, the Bjornsson family for letting me pit next to them. And I don't have any sponsors, so me, myself, and I.
There you go. Sponsor him. One of you out there. Captain Chaos, your Mini Bump to Pass winner.
Home Track Heroes rolls on here on a Sunday night. Thanks for tuning in here to Seattle 11. He has been I'm Caleb Hart, and our program is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. PRCBD Hornet, a main event coming up here. Give you your lineup for the drivers, as it is Bobby Houck on the front, the 08 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Snow Valley Farms. Next to him, the 101 of Brian McNamara out of Snohomish, sponsored by True Line Wheel and Frame of Seattle. The second row, Zach Dixon in the 67 out of Marysville, the color specialist, premium quality car paint service, and Jason Karenberg in the 2 out of Cedar Woolley, sponsored by Yeti Racing.
Randy Moffitt pilots the 102 out of Everett, sponsored by B&R Drywall. Next to Scarlett Fisher in the 19 out of Marysville, sponsored by GN Northwest. Bobby Fisher pilots the 81 out of Lake Stevens. And Lucas Hausenflock is in the 03 out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Cornerstone Homes.
Row number 5 is Trinity Reppin out of Snohomish, Reppin Welding and Rail. To her outside, Gino Solomon out of North Bend, the Valley Asphalt car. Row 6, Michael Turner, the 022 out of Monroe, Full Throttle sponsors him. And the Olympia Pizza, number 30 of Pat Folger.
The 132 is Dempsey Graham out of Duval, LAF Tech aboard him. He'll start next to the 15 of Matt Snyder, who's out of Snohomish. Handy in the Valley aboard Matt Snyder's car. Damon Claiborne, Fred Flintstone himself, is in the 43 out of Snohomish. Kia of Everett aboard him. He'll start next to the 00 of Dan Miller of Everett. Exterior Wall System sponsors Dan.
Row number 9 is the 77. Dan's kid is Christian Miller out of Everett. Turbo Espresso on his sponsor list. And Brad Gruhl, the G22, is outside the Estes Heating and Cooling car. Row behind them, the 1 junior, Zach Bristol, Snohomish Washington Hibbs Automotive for your track champion. And the 16 of Peyton Hopp out of Snohomish Cut Shop of Woodinville, final row. The move-ups, just 2 of them. Donna Gillespie's 024 from Salem, Waltz Wood Company. And Dan Tungle joins the crew, 263 out of Lake Stevens, Blue Skies Electric, as we are green.
We are green in front of a packed house here at Evergreen Speedway. You can see that with the onboard Randy Moffitt, Scarlett Fisher, Zach Dixon in the quad box with the full racing camera you can see in the top corner. We're trying to see which one of these drivers is going to make a way move forward. It's a good getaway for Bobby Houck in the lead. Ooh, Zach Dixon had a swerve to avoid a Uke tire.
Safest place to be is out in front of the field with nobody around you, and that's where Houck has gotten to early. Battle between Karenberg in the 2 and the 67 rolling around at the front of Dixon. They would be door panel to door panel, but there's a lot of space in the back straightaway of the 3/8. Now coming into the weight exchange section, we saw a lot of action here in the B-main.
Yeah, it looks like Lucas Hausenfluck was leaning on Matt Snyder to get through there a little bit. Maybe a little bit of contact between Dixon and Karenberg in the 2. Here comes Moffitt down the inside. The 102's making a strong run down the inside, but Zach Dixon's going to make the high line work and get around Karenberg.
We usually see Randy Moffitt Stinger 8 action. He's got the Hornet out here. We know how good Randy can be. He's got second right now, but opened up this corner. He's got third right now, sorry. Opened up that corner big and wide, but managed to hang on to the spot.
Sorry, Caleb. I was looking further back where there were 5 wide going into that section, and it almost left Fred Flintstone of Damon Claiborne up in the grass.
They all need to chill out. That's what they need to do. And speaking of that, visit PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD products. For people and pets, PRCBD has help for all types of aches and pains. Go to prcbd.com and use the promo code RACE. That's RACE, RACE.
Picking back up in this race, Zach Dixon's trying to move around the Snyder family racing team of Matt Snyder and Gino Solomon. The last time we saw that family out here racing, it was quite successful for them, Caleb. You saw Diesel Snyder's. We witnessed his dominance in the wet and picked up 3 main events, joining some of the legends at Evergreen Speedway who've been able to complete that feat.
Not many of them, though.
Nope, not many. Steve Peters, I know one. I got that from Chad.
It's the first time we had seen it in Home Track Heroes.
Absolutely. First time we've seen it in Home Track Heroes history.
Let's take a look. We'll go in the cockpit of Gino Solomon. Solomon, very clean build inside of there. You can see the red switch and the battery disconnect for him. Solomon having a nice run so far. He's down to the inside. There is Moffitt in front of him as he downshifts. Coming in through that corner now. Watch as he's going to pick this back up. Watch. Up gear he goes. Picks up some RPM and forward into the position goes Gino.
A good run there for Gino Solomon. Right now, Snyder Family Racing occupying 2 of the top 3, but the person who occupies the top spot is Bobby Houck, who's in that 08. It's been up and gone. Dan Miller, the 00 back car, struggled the last time out, Caleb. We saw an off night from Dan, but Dan is casting those demons aside and quickly has his car up into the top 5.
Typically one of the most consistent drivers here in the Hornet division. Doesn't matter what the course is, doesn't matter what the weather condition is. You usually see the 00 moving forward. You're right, it was kind of surprising to see him not working his way into the top 10 in that last one. Right now, he peeks the nose to the inside of Solomon. Solomon denies him as things slow down into the very tight right-hand turn.
Yeah, that's tough on the reverse road course. Normally, those drivers are so slow through that sharp weight transfer to get up onto the 3/8 oval. Now they carry so much speed, have to get on the brakes to get down into that weight transfer.
8 laps into this, 22 to go. Door panel to door panel, as Miller says. I'll try the outside here. Solomon with the preferred tight line around the close right-hand turn and manages to hold Miller off through the weight transfer section. Zach Bristol has made big progress. He just picked up 5th from Moffitt after I want to say 19th or 20th place starting spot.
Yeah, good run so far. I had a chance to talk with the 3rd member of our team, Derek Todorov, who made a B-main attempt on this very same course.
On purpose?
Yeah, he did. He intentionally climbed inside a race car and definitely was in a race car on this course.
I mean, you talked to Derek on purpose, not that he raced him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I do that often.
Was he telling you how to keep your keys out of being locked in your truck?
He was actually telling me how to keep the cars in with air in the tires, and I told him, Derek, I think we're gonna have to check the replay on that one.
Well, as you're watching, we might get a replay here of the 00 of Miller, who still working over the 17 of Solomon. Those guys, by the way, catching up on the back of Matt Snyder too. So 2, 3, and 4 about to be embroiled in a battle, but we keep watching the Brandy Hood Promotions GoPro shot of Dan Miller, and he is using almost every inch of Evergreen Speedway to do this.
Yeah, open season. Dan Miller is trying to move his way forward. Zach Bristol's charging hard in the 1 junior. You can see that car starting to emerge in the picture behind. Dan Miller's doing anything he can to set up this move on the 17S. Can't do that. They're going to hug those ukes as they come across past the flag cove and where flagman JD hangs out.
It's a fascinating battle because all of your veteran guile that you've got out of Miller, he knows every trick in the book. Here's the thing, Gino knows him too. So he's not going to get surprised by anything and kind of knows the counter punch to all these. Now this time, Miller got that sail into the corner just right. And it is the 00 going door panel to door panel, looking at each other's numbers as they cross into the big sweeper on the 3/8.
Yeah, well, Dan Miller maybe try to set up a crossover move. I don't know. We'll go back to Bobby Hauk. He'll come off. He's coming up on some lap traffic. That looks like Folger. And is that Bobby Fisher, I think? Yes, that's Bobby Fisher. Still side by side, these two can't. Oh, Solomon got a little bit loose there, and that's all it took to open the door. Dan Miller into second.
Miller makes his way by, and he has got the one of Zach Bristol about ready to follow him. We'll look back a few more spots as inside the top 10 and battling Christian Miller in the 77 and David Claiborne in the 43 going after it.
Yeah, these have been two fast cars. Both of these drivers have found their way onto the podiums or picked up race wins throughout this season, so I'm sure it won't be long till they're on the back end of that battle. So slots still to come. Right now, Hauk first making his way through lap traffic. So those cars will go a lap down. Here's Zach Bristol, Rev Up Energy. You can see on the 1 junior. So he's trying to make his way around the outside of the 17S of Gino Solomon. A good battle between these two. You know, we saw Dan Miller make the outside line work around Gino Solomon. Zach Bristol showing he can do it too, and he's going to move up another spot.
Bristol took a lot less time to do that. He may have the more powerful and potent car at the moment from Dan, but catching him is one thing, passing him a whole different story. Bristol makes his way up into the top 4, just beyond the halfway mark of this, and we'll watch him try to run down the 00 Miller.
Yeah, now we're going to go to the drone shot where you can see the entire course in action, Caleb, and you can see how much this field will spread out, but how these fast cars will bunch you up sometimes. You can see this battle on the banking. Hauk's trying to put both Fishers and Trinity repping a lap down, unable to, but Hauk's going to have to continue to boogie his way forward because that battle from second on back is going to start closing up on him soon.
If he can get through some of that slower traffic, and you can see it now kind of at the tail end of that line. Coming in on him, there's Matt Snyder. He's the second place car, the blue with white, and I'm going to say purple or pinkish number.
Pinkish.
Yeah, and the 00 of Miller in the 3rd spot, who's making the bid to take it away from Snyder, and that's a nice opportunity for Miller, and he will make the pass, at least for now, as they slow her on down and get into this right-hand corner.
Yeah, you can look out the back bumper of Bobby Hauk. You can see knocking it on the door is Dan Miller and Matt Snyder moving their way forward. Scarlett Fisher's in the battle there, but she's going to be a lap down. So these fast cars are coming, and right now Bobby Hauk's doing what he can. He's led, I think, most of all the laps, if not all of them so far, and so good run for Bobby Hauk so far, looking to hang on to his top spot or even on a spot on the podium.
Well, if I'm seeing this right, I believe that the amount of slower traffic in between your leader and second place is completely gone. Dan Miller has completely closed that distance. It is now Miller, and you can see him off the rear view cam here on the 08 of Hauk, and he is making a bid for the lead through the corner.
Yeah, but it looks like Bobby Hauk might have picked a better line with the lap traffic. Bobby Fisher's going to end up planting in the middle of them, and they'll go low, but Trinity Rapid's going to evolve. I don't know. I think these drivers have used this high line off the banking. Here comes Zach Bristol peeking the nose in, wants to make a 3 wide.
Oh, Bristol rolled the dice that he had a groove there. Unfortunately, it came up craps as around the top, Hauk holds on for another lap. Miller's going to shoot wide, and that blocks the path of Bristol as they're going to take the outside line to try to get around Fisher, Reppin, and all the rest of that slower traffic. Here comes Matt Snyder into the viewpoint as they're going to hook this right-hand turn with just 9 to go, and then again Bristol to the inside as they're 3 wide.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how many cars battling here. Matt Snyder, Damon Claiborne, Gino Solomon, Christian Miller. I think we've got 7 or 8 competitors right now. This is all the battle for the lead, and Dan Miller got it at the line.
Miller got it at the line, but they're 3 wide for second, and behind him, Bristol, Snyder, and more. Christian Miller, Damon Claiborne is coming to town. 4 wide for spots down the back straightaway, and that is all for position. All 6 cars in your screen and more.
This is a tough battle. Zach Bristol's able to get back to the lead. They're still rolling through. Bobby Fisher, Trinity Reppin, Brian McNamara. Those are slow cars. Damon Claiborne's going to look down the inside. Oh, how give Gino Solomon a big shot at the back of that. They'll still be 3 wide as they're rolling around. Who's in the lead? It looks like Zach Bristol.
How did they get through that without spinning each other? Now Bristol on the way outside. Miller's got the preferred line to the inside of him. Coming into the hook. They'll get there. Little contact, but Miller got her slowed down just enough. Claiborne looking to the inside as we're down to 6 to go. Bristol in front and Miller right on him.
This is a battle heating up. Damon Claiborne wants his shot in the top 2. The 43, he's looking to the outside. And so far, these 3 cars have been able to find the separation, but Christian Miller, Gino Solomon will quickly be closing the gap once they get around those lap traffic. The 1JR, the defending track champion, knows his way around all of these courses, but can Dan Miller get that silver bullet up to the lead?
And Miller's in the unenviable spot of having to try to play offense and defense at the same time. Claiborne's got a quick ride in behind him. As you can see, Miller thrashing that car down to the bottom. He gets the block on Damon. Now can he make the run on Zach? And Zach looked like the 00 made some pretty big ground on the straightaway. I wonder if he's down just a hair of power.
Dan Miller's already made this outside pass work once. Can he make it work again? They come out side by side across the line. It's too close to call there, but they'll run into 1 and 2 of this track. Dan Miller gets to the high side, looking to get around Zach Bristol.
You don't see Bristol get passed very often when he gets to the lead, but Dan Miller did just that. Now can he hang on the back end, trying to come around to the 0? Catches back up to it. Here comes Claiborne trying to get him as Bristol's right there.
Dan Miller just did his own little drift con there, but he was able to get the back wheels. Dan Tungle slightly coming into this battle now. He's a lap car. Zach Bristol's trying to muzzle his way. They're going to go 3 wide. They're going to go 4 wide with a lap car down the back straightaway.
Oh, Dan Tungle, wrong place, wrong time, buddy. As here comes Bristol, here comes Claiborne.
Dan Miller.
And again, throwing it in to try to get around Gillespie. Contact made near top 3. Bristol right up on the back of Miller, looking for room around. Gillespie gets wide and Miller holds the spot.
Oh, Zach Bristol off the outside wall. Dan Miller's going to get the runaway. Here comes Gino Solomon into the battle. Solomon out of nowhere is back in it. Zach Bristol's looking to get back on the podium. Damon Claiborne's looking to go down the inside of Solomon. They'll go through this weight transfer section. Both cars get a little loose. Claiborne's around and into the Uke tire.
RKO out of nowhere to Claiborne off the Uke tire. Is the white flag out? Yes, it is. One more time around for Miller, who now has all the breathing room in the world comparatively. What a battle up front here. The PRCBD Hornets for second here at the end. Solomon shoots her in. He'll hold her through as this one goes to Dan Miller in an absolute slobber knocker. Solomon 2 and Bristol 3. Wow.
What a race for the PRCBD Hornets. Congrats to Dan Miller's and hats off to all of them.
Well, I can't wait to talk to these guys. We'll do that at the start of the next segment coming up here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
That was quite possibly the greatest Hornet race I've ever seen, but I imagine it might feel a little different in the driver's seat. What was going through your mind for that one?
Oh, no, I firmly agree with all the years I've done Hornets. That was the best Hornet race I've ever been a part of. The lappers definitely threw a mix into it. I thought it was going to be even better once we were kind of by ourselves with, 6 to 8 cars were going at it, but ducking, diving, smacking cars, smacking walls, trying to keep your foot in it. A lot of us were just, we'll try and make it to the end. Thankfully, most of us did, so the cars are somewhat in one piece with all the beating and banging, but hey, I'm sure we put on a great show for the fans. That's all that mattered.
Made it out here to third tonight. Who would you like to thank for that?
Well, for tonight, as always on Sean Peters Memorial Night, he was a good friend of mine. It's for you, brother, as always. Hibbs Automotive, we had a bad wreck in that heat race, and we had to fix the car, and Tommy laid on it all night. Barely made it in for the main event with Tommy and Candy. Beautiful girlfriend, Sarah. Dan, Gino, all the Hornet guys, that was such a fun race. Obviously, my mini-me, Rev Up Energy, Townsend Peterson LLC, Bennett Design Construction, Gourmet Latte, and all the fans for coming out and giving us a full crowd to put on a show. It was awesome to have.
Driver of the 1 Junior, Zach Bristol, third place tonight. Now you took great advantage of that chaotic series of events there on the last lap, made your way up into second place. Walk us through your thought process as you see the chaos unfolding in front of you.
Well, there was just a bunch of cars that were clustered in the intersection there, and they were going sideways and every way, and I just shot the gap and got through it. Thank God.
Hey, it paid off. Put on a great show with the 15-717 back in the Snyder Racing camp these past couple of weeks. Who do you have to thank for that?
Well, I want to thank Valley Asphalt, Hair Inc., Handy in the Valley, SC. I want a special thanks to Chuck Pierce for fabricating for me this week, and then Diesel for coming over and helping out after last race. So,
driving the number 17S, Gino Solomon, second place in Hornets. Dan, I think you'll excuse my honesty when I say that last week was a little rough for the 00 camp. This week, however, does this make up for it?
Hell yeah. I do not like the rain. Finished 15th. It was terrible, and this more than makes up for it. It's a monkey off my back winning a Saturday night points race, finally.
You put on a great show up there in the 00. What is your favorite of the courses? Because you seemed very at home on this reverse road course.
Well, everyone will say. The track I just won on is my favorite. It's really fast. I like the big tracks, but this was a blast racing.
And who would you like to thank for taking it home at the top tonight?
Well, we've got a list here. We've got Exterior Wall Systems, Turbo Espresso, Rick's Mobile AC, BSR, my boys at Hornets Nest Racing. They just do so much, and we had a pep talk during the week, and that really helped. I've got a new sponsor, Flooring Direct out of Marysville. Let's see here. We got Scott, Jeff, and Ed at Fast Eddie's Tire Pros in Everett. Take care of all your tire needs. And boy, there's the fans and all the people that made that ultimate sacrifice so we could all be here and do this.
Driver of the 00, Dan Miller, tonight's Hornet A-Main winner.
DT on TV with a very joyous Dan Miller, and for a lot of reasons, Ben. What a race that was in the Hornets.
Yeah, what a race. Congrats to Dan Miller for holding on for that one.
Well, all right, so let's go from that to DT's favorite division. This is the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. And quad box to start us off, because we got a really good field of cars here for this one. Starts with Jeff Talbert returning in the 47 car out of Arlington. Pilchuck Heating sponsors it. Rick Yargis, the 17X out of Stanwood. McCarthy General Contractor sponsors him. Second row, Steve Cox is in the 58. He is sponsored by Peebo's Sports Bar. And Chevy Vincent, the 45 out of Darrington, sponsored by Pro HNS.
Quentin Borison pilots the 5 machine. He's out of Aberdeen, sponsored by Mary's Towing. Starting next to the 11 machine of Blaine Manning tonight, Be Happy Carpet Cleaning with him. The 67 is Mackenzie Dietz of Monroe, sponsored by BECU. Starting alongside the 88 tonight, which is Dawson Cox out of Arlington, sponsored by Protocol Plumbing.
The 5th row is Steve Peters, the B&R Machine Works, number 36, out of Monroe. Sheridan Vincent, the 43, from Darrington to his outside, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment, row 6. Chris Southard, the 76S out of Everett, All Solved Plumbing sponsors him. And Skylar Cruz is the 20 from Covington, sponsored by Big Truck Service.
The 369 machine, Tasha Dunn, is out of Sultan, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC. Starting alongside the 78 of Jeff Anderson, he's out of Snohomish, his friends and family supporting him. The 21 is Justin Bliss of Federal Way. Mother's Worry Racing sponsors them. And next to the 95 of Bruce Wilson of Kent, sponsored by MMI.
Loaded field, 16 cars deep, both Coxes in this lineup, the returning Talbert, Borison within the first 3 rows, Dietz, Peters, and more. This is stacked.
If you woke up from a coma from a mid-2000s Evergreen Speedway racing fan, you'd fit right into this race.
Green flag out. Should be a fantastic one. That is Yargis in the 17. Jumping to the early lead, Talbert. Nice look on that 47 car. Pretty sharp. As Chevy Vincent. Oh, look out. Car around. And who was that? I missed it.
It's Blaine Manning that's around. You don't... Definitely not how you want to start your race. We were quad boxed there with Chevy, Blaine, and McKenzie.
And now back to the single view where Yargis leads Vincent, leads Talbert as they all try to get away from the field.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you want to be able to build some gap if you can, but Justin Bliss had to break for the intersection there. You want to build some gap for sure, but I mean, with the intersection, gap doesn't always help you out. It's eventually that intersection is going to get pretty hot, and then you'll have to survive.
At 16 cars deep, it's not going to take very long to do that. Our program today is brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and these super stock figure 8s. As you can see Manning in the 11 trying to dig his way back into this one, but boy, that's a big old hole he's got dug already.
Yeah, Dawson Cox is the car that he was battling with. Yargis, Vincent, Talbert, and then Dawson right now in 4th. Looks like Blaine Manning, I take that back. He's actually down a lap. Might be, whoa, they just had to cross over Jeff Anderson. Jeff Anderson stalled out there and was trying to cross the intersection. Bliss is, I think, dragging a tire or something, and the caution flag's going to come out for Jeff Anderson.
Yeah, the carnage happened awfully early here in this race as we will bring us to yellow flag. Dangerous spot for Anderson to sit, and everybody did a really sharp job. Head on a swivel, avoiding him. So you can see where Anderson was, and yeah, they split him like Moses at the Red Sea.
Yeah, just tough break. Anderson tried to break up for the intersection, but ultimately broke a little bit too deep into the lane and couldn't get the car going. And yeah, you can see why that's where I'd get on the brake too.
Yeah, and then like you said, kind of hard to pick a spot and get going back through as it was constant traffic. And of course, Anderson's going to have a good look over to his left there and see constant stream of cars coming over and over again. Flagman saves them, and we'll restack them, re-rack them, and set them back ready to go.
So we're going to get a Delaware-style restart, so Rick Yargis will have control of the field, and Vincent and Talbert will start on row number 2. Green flag is out, and everyone a little bit cautious getting away, a little tire spinning. Here comes Steve Peters to the outside, looking to make the 36 the battle wagon forward. Dawson Cox putting the 88 down low and trying to move his way forward, and man, just side-by-side racing everywhere.
I thought that restart was going to work out a little bit better for Talbert as he kind of had a length on the 45 shooting into that corner, but didn't handle in the outside groove too well. And now to the bottom, Dawson Cox wheeling his way forward. Boy, that car's got some speed, but the handle not quite there yet. He'll jump back on the hammer, but both Peters and Borison get by him in the exchange. As you're watching the super stock figure 8 main event, we got Thanks Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe, your one-stop transportation and RV center from new vehicles to pre-owned cars and trucks. Speedway Chevrolet can locate nearly any make and model you're searching for.
Yargis still leading now. The field's starting to string out a little bit. Justin Bliss is going to return, and Steve Peters is all down the rear of Jeff Talbert, giving him the bump I would like by. Quentin Borson, the one-armed bandits, moved his way up into 5th right now, running the 5-car 5th. Jeff Anderson takes the smart exit and gets out of the way here, and then Dawson Cox has settled in into 6th.
You would normally think, all right, Boris in 5th, that's a good thing. He's progressed, but really, he's just running about where he started here so far. A couple of the other drivers have picked their way up and through. The timing has not worked out well for Quentin, but we know about the 5. He's always there at the end as we got one around.
That's the 58. That's Steve Cox in the 58 today, trying to get that car refired. Is that Skylar Cruz in the 20? It is, and the caution flag is going to come back out. Dual caution flags.
Look at that again as the 78 is stalled out right before the intersection. So let's watch and see how it happened. Cox comes around, and boy, I might have done that to himself just by overpowering through that. Let's watch right ahead of him, and yeah, that's hard to say unless we're going to get the in-car view from McKenzie.
Oh, hey, look.
Let's take a look at it. Oh, yeah. Guy goes around with no contact.
Yeah,
so
that's a tough break for Steve Cox. He'll have to pick back up on the wagon, get refired, and try to move his way back forward.
With that quick caution coming, that means he should stay on the lead lap, which is a huge thing. Often we'll see car get around and then lap or 2 completes, and if he hasn't fired back up, you'll get that yellow coming out. Combined with the 78 stalling out, Cox still a lead lap car here.
That'll be good for the 58, and he will unfortunately have to go to the back of the field, and the green flag will be back out. Another good jump for Yargis, an even better fire off for Talbert, but Chevy Vincent's trying to keep the 45 side by side with him.
Chevy doing a good job, door panel to door panel, coming through the corner. Peters and Borison for 4th. Borison trying to take advantage of this restart, and it looks like at the line he'll have that spot and an inside late on Chevy Vincent for 3rd.
Good run for the one-armed bandit, trying to go around the outside of Vincent. Talbert settled in nicely here in 2nd, and And Peters, Cox, Dietz, lots of fast cars moving their way forward early. Steve Peters going to duck down. This is not good news for Chevy Vincent. He's hung out on the high side.
Yeah, he is just getting freight trained now, having lost 3 spots after that to Talbert. Borison, he is battling back, trying to hold Peters off, but we know that that Fly Chaperone 36 has power to spare, and Steve going to get him on the wrong side of the left-hand corners here. See if the driver in behind him can follow up. That's the 88 of Dawson Cox, and he is trying.
Yeah, I'm going to go on board with Mackenzie Dietz. I think we're in the front bumper. Cool shot with the GoPro. Nice work, Brandy Saxon and Ashley and the crew. And oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot to mention it's Chevy Vincent's birthday.
Happy birthday, Chevy. Sorry about the position loss.
Yeah, I told him I need to get to see the rookie stripes off the car, and then I'll start recognizing more accomplishments for him.
Taking a look at that right front tire has a little hop to it at times, so wondering if the suspension is hurting. As Dawson Cox getting beat around a little bit, will lose the spot back to Vincent. Top 4 have taken their time and have made a breakaway, though, from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of problems for Dawson Cox. Now it looks like Quentin Borison's getting the muscle with Jeff Talbert a little bit. The one-armed bandit's giving the 47 a little bit of a push. Steve Peters, the battle wagon's going to be able to move his way forward, and Talbert's going to lose out on 2 spots after that one.
Yeah, say this for Borison. He is very good at right place, right time, but when opportunity comes up, he don't miss it. As he's coming to the inside of Yargis here, Rick into the horsepower, trying to keep Quentin launched to the outside. Quentin's going to tuck back in through the left-hand set of corners and look for another shot to get around Rick, because we are over halfway home.
Yeah, trying to find his way forward. 369 looks like slowed up there on the towards the North Pole, South Pole.
And we just missed the lead pass as Borison got by Yargis going into the right-hand set of corners.
I was so focused on which pole we were on. I'm so sorry I missed Borison get around him, and Steve Peters followed him through.
It happened quicker than a hiccup, as by the middle of the corner, Borison was already by. I wonder if Yargis set up to try to come around outside of the corner, and that just gave way too much space to Q.
You can't give Quentin Borison anything because he's got enough experience, enough speed in that 5 machine just to take everything. You'll give a man more. So Quentin Borison into the lead, and we'll see if Steve Peters can run him down.
We are down to 12 laps to go, and we've got one stalling out and to a stop. Tasha Dunn, the 369, has come to a break right in front of the intersection. We have got to take a timeout. We'll be back with the finish here of the Superstock Figure 8 main event on Home Track Heroes. Well, just about ready to go back to action here in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s here on Home Track Heroes. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Ben Iman. And Ben, 13 to go here on our program, brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And Steve Peters shooting into second on the restart.
Yeah, Peters going to get second. Yargis still running a solid third. Talbert, Chevy Vincent, still looking to see. There's a lot of fast cars in this group, Derek, or Caleb. There's a lot of cars that can move their way forward.
Let's see what Yargis can do to hang on. Been a really good race for him. Led the first portion of it. Borison picked it up a few laps ago, and right on his back is Peters. 36 car has got some speed as we've got cars around. Thank you to David Nelson for the drone shot. And we got one who is putting down a patch of rubber there on the in the corner, and fires her back up and gets her going.
Well, this is both Coxes. That's Dawson, and then Steve is parked up on turn 1 of the 5/8.
Ooh, no good. So bad corner for Dawson and Steve, and intersection is busy for Borison, just a car length ahead of Peters. So they're down to 10 laps to go, and watch them cruise their way through. Nobody there for him to dodge this time, but let's watch what happens on the backswing.
Yeah, he's going to have to probably shoot the gap every time. He doesn't really have enough comfortable space to be able to defend or really stop up from Peters. Which one of them is willing to shoot that intersection every time? I think it's really going to make who's going to hang on to this lead.
Yeah, you wonder at this point in time if Borison would rather be the guy out in front leading or be the one who is got to make the decision in behind him whether to go for it or not. Borison, little hesitation, and they got some help there from the car trying to cross the intersection. So the lead stays at the same amount as we're down to 8 laps to go. Got to say a big thank you to Washington's Lottery out there. Created in 1982, the Washington Lottery established to generate revenues for state programs through the sale of lottery products. Lotto scratches more than 30 games a year to experience, along with Powerball, Mega Millions, Hit 5, Match 4, and Daily Keno. Washington's Lottery, dream big.
We're watching, this is the battle for 4th between Chevy Vincent and Jeff Talbert.
Talbert trying to work his way to the inside. As there you see Borison sneaking around a slower car as they all continue to make their way through the intersection.
Yeah, this has been a really strong run for a lot of these cars up front. I think right behind Talbert is that Sheridan Vincent. First time I think I've said Sheridan's name popping back up in Mackenzie Dietz, also running behind Sheridan. So again, these faster cars are making their way forward, but who has the time to make a move with about 5-6 laps to go?
Well, you will remember Sheridan had to completely rebuild that car as it got trashed in an intersection shot earlier on in the season. There goes Dietz trying to work her way forward with Vincent to the outside and Talbert stuck in right ahead of him. It's a good battle. It's just a little bit further back in the back, like 4th through 7th, as we got one making some Uke tire friends.
Yeah, that looks like Bruce Wilson in the 95 over there by the Blaine Muma Uke tire. Just got wide and,
wow. Wow, we called Dan Tungle the king of the Uke tire, but yeah, Wilson taking out some latent anger on that thing.
Yeah, the 95 Superstock trying to do some Spec Ranger action, getting some airtime.
Wow. Completely sends the one sailing and then lifts the front end after the other. As you can see, the water that's accumulated in the Uke tires going up in a spray coming off there. Wow. Bruce versus tire. Bruce angry.
Yeah, bad year for Uke tires.
Wouldn't like Bruce when he's angry. As we go quad box style to try to finish this off, we're 5 to go. Morrison, your leader, and we got action all in behind him with the front cams.
Yeah, we got Rick Yargis, Chevy Vincent, and the grill of Steve Peters. They're going to make their way forward. Looks like Steve's able to hang on for second. Yargis is hanging on for third, but Chevy Vincent, hold on, knocking on the door of the inside.
Vincent with a run on Yargis, trying to peek his way to the outside of him. Couldn't get there. Yargis holds the spot, and then Vincent pushes mid-corner. That'll give both Talbert and Sheridan Vincent a shot at him.
Sheridan's going to go down the inside of Talbert, looking to move his way forward. Maybe Dietz will follow through in the 67. Ooh, a little more contact between the 67 and the 43.
Yeah, the 43 tried to power up off the corner. 67 got a love tap in on the back there. Questioned in behind it, and I think that's right. The 11 of Manning has been pushing his way up in there, but Manning is a lap down. You can see him on the ticker. He has not scored on lead lap right now, so the 11 car getting involved in the battle, but it's kind of all for naught. He'd have to unlap himself before anything good happens.
Yeah, it's just showing the 11 has speed. You know, Blaine Manning can take that and use that going forward as to appreciate that. You know, unfortunate him early in this race, he got spun around and caught that lap.
He's been a feature winner here on the course of the year as Quinn Borison has added some pad, and he'll come to the white flag. He has got one more lap around. Q in the 5 car, a whole lot of space as he'll make his way through. And I think we got did we get a shot there? I think we did. Red flag is out.
Yeah, that must be intersection contact for the red flag to come out. You can see JD, our flag man, quickly running over there to the drivers. Let's take a look. Bruce Wilson. Chevy Vincent in the intersection. And I don't think that's the birthday wish that Chevy had. Just clipped the tail end of that car.
That could have been vastly worse if he hadn't gotten some English on that race car and coming through. That little crank of the steering wheel to the left probably saved a bunch more damage. Here is from Sheridan's point of view and watching his other race car go spinning sideways.
Yeah, from the rear of Rick Yargis, we got to see that one now on board with Chevy.
Let's watch, and he sees the car coming through and just tries to avoid it as best he can at the very last second. So Vincent goes spinning. That was a top 5 car, and that is going to give us what I understand is going to be a green and white restart. Borison had taken the white flag. So green and white coming, and we're going to get it from Quentin's point of view, swerving back and forth. So a little in-car shot this time, and we'll get to see him coming to the green and white flag.
Rocking the shades.
I like it. Well, you know, it gets bright out there, right?
Quentin's driving with style. I love it. Getting on board with the one-armed bandit.
Well, watch and see how he ends up shifting through gears and making that work. You also see he has a very different steering wheel than a lot of drivers do, as there is extra grip and, no open air on that steering wheel. It's kind of a fascinating design.
Yet it's definitely something different, but Quentin Borison, doesn't matter what car he's behind, he's going to be fast in it. And just the one lap, that's all it was. It was going to be tough. Quentin Borison checks out and picks up another victory.
Give a second to Peters. Mackenzie Dietz gets third at the very end. She'll sneak onto the podium, and we'll get a word with her and our other 2 victors.
Mackenzie, that is a field that is already typically stacked. Add in Dawson, add in Steve Cox, add in Steve Peters. What's going through your mind when you're in the race car?
Today was pretty rough. I kept getting put back to the back of the field after making some passes, and so we kept having to move through the field, and there was just a lot going on. So I'm happy that we got a third. I don't know how we finished in this spot coming from 7th at a green-white checkered, but I just tried to take as many spots as I could, and it was just a shootout, and we did okay.
Piloted your way through the chaos. Who would you like to thank for that?
BECU, Buzzin' Steakhouse, Reppin' Welding and Rail, Ghostum Delta Cams, 2 Girls in a Leaf. I'm trying to think, I said BECU. And then we also got a new sponsor today, Kayak Point Construction. Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. And just my crew, my husband, he's running the buses later tonight. And so we're just really excited.
Driver the number 67, Mackenzie Dietz, 3rd place. Steve, on a night that means so much, how's it feel to take home 2nd place?
Well, you know I'd like first, but Quentin is a hell of a racer, and he deserves a win when he races the way he did. I had nothing for him at the end, but we had the best car I've ever had. Just need a little bit more to catch him next time and get a first, but I'll take anything on my boy's day. To me, just being here is a very special thing for me and my family and all my friends. It's just a special day, so it's a bonus to get a good run and to get the fast time in the Super Figure 8 today. It's been 20 years.
P2 on such a special night. Who would you like to thank for getting you here?
Well, we got a welcome aboard Rev Up energy drink and Sky Valley Tree Service, B&R Machine Works, and Papa's Bar in Monroe. I want to thank all them, and I want to thank the Rock Church for saving my life 11 years ago. And I just say that anybody that can put Jesus in their heart, it'll save your life. And just try harder every day.
Driver the number 36, Steve Peters, 2nd place on such an important night. Quentin, you were one of the many drivers out here at Evergreen Speedway who had the honor of racing against Sean Peters. Here on Sean Peters Memorial Night, how's it feel to take home the win?
You know, it's really awesome. We made some changes to the car. Tommy made it really, really good. He always does, but man, it was like really good tonight. So I have to be really super thankful for that. Him and Keith Taylor and Brandon Lovely and my brothers and stuff. All the people that help in the pits, Tabitha and Chris and everybody. It's an honor to win on Sean Peters Memorial Night, and especially in front of all the crowd and all the people that were here. I mean, what a fantastic show. The fireworks were awesome. The buses were so cool. But most of all, I have to thank this lady right here, Mary. She owns the race car. She owns the towing business and everything. And she is also an agent for Remax. And, if you want to sell a house, she's a top performing seller and stuff. And look her up, Mary Brubaker.
Woo! Great job out here tonight, driver of the number 5.
Thank you.
Quentin Borison, your race winner tonight.
Well, Quentin Borison gets the job done in the Superstock Figure 8s. Let us recommence with the destruction. It is the Northwest Bump to Pass. These are the big cars, the 8 cylinders stoked and ready to go. And your lineup looking like this. Mike Cadell is the 359. Next to him, it's Jacob Thornborough in the 07. Second row, Brandon Dale, that's the 76. And Kyle Desha is the 42.
Tony the Tiger Timlick is in 59. He'll start alongside the 67 of Jason Dale. Sheridan Vincent pilots the Barbie Dream car, the 45, subbing in for Chevy after that tough contact in the Superstock race. The 23 machine, that'll be Bryce Kolar.
Behind them, Brooke Yargis making her debut. That is the 11. Her dad, Rick, in the 17 next to her. And Ralph Huther is car number 3. So we've got 11 of them. Same rules as the minis. You have to make contact to get by. You don't have to crash them. But here in the long wheelbase V8s, it's inevitably a little more spectacular sometimes.
Absolutely. A car I'm watching for, Caleb, is the 07, the Patriot Act. Jacob Thornborough starting up on the front row.
Well, we know he's usually good for some spectacularness.
We saw him in the Mini earlier. We saw how well that car ran.
And on this is the tight 5th mile. It is not the extended 5th mile. We have had them do the big around the flagpole style bump passing before, but this time they're going to just kind of straight up race and cause some chaos to smash and pass their way by guys.
Yeah, this is going to get exciting. It'll be one clean lap. They got to run one clean lap, and then they'll get a flag, and that just means we'll have fun.
Which I never understood. I would say just let it begin from the start, right?
I mean,
but
sure.
What do I know?
I mean, that yeah, but then you just have a big stack up right here, and you wouldn't get really anyone rolling. As the green flag is out.
That's what you say, but I think that sounds better. They're going to try going 3 wide, though, for 3rd.
Sure, I don't blame them. It looks like not everyone's playing nice to start. Some of these cars look too nice to be in a bump-to-pass class.
For now.
Ooh, Bryce Kolar's going to go 4 wide.
Look at that.
And I'll say it's a flag, but it's actually an air horn noise.
All right.
There we go.
And let the wild rumpus begin.
We're getting a good run. Bryce Kolar, he's won in a Hornet so far this year, and now he's trying to...
He's looking at the 67 of Jason Dale and saying, Jason, car looks just way too clean. Meanwhile, Yargis closed in, and we got 2 together already. The 42, Kyle Desha says smash.
Oh. And that's Brooke Yargis in the 11. That's the other one. Now Bryce Kolar is getting that 23 away and scraping a lot.
Sparking up a storm.
Oh, Brooke Yargis getting rolling again.
Graphics package way too nice for the Yargis car. She'll learn.
Yeah, she'll learn. Ooh, 359 taking a shot from Kolar. Is he going to run it into the stopped car? No, but he runs him way up the track. Bryce Kolar into the lead. Now here comes Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger is darn good at this bump to pass stuff. He has got a nice look to the inside of Kolar, and Kolar is going to go, run, Rabbit, run, I got to get away.
Hey, he's just got to get up and book it. Now, here's my question. Do you have to bump the lap traffic?
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
You're still
as well.
making a pass on him. Tag him.
I buy the letter of the law. Yeah, you got to bump that. I was going to say Tony the Tiger got loose, but another car behind him, I think it was Mike Cadell, got even looser and around. Rick Yargis won here 3rd. Yep, there's Kolar bumping the rookie of Brooke Yargis. Oh, bumping again. Now just driving through the back.
Cadell got cadumped to start that whole thing up and going. Jason Dale gets mangled, and Tony the Tiger in and through as we got a 4-car stoppage right in there.
Well, now this is just I-5 south, like 5 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Marine View Drive in Everett, heading north at about 6 o'clock daily. It's a bunch of fun.
Looks like we're going to lose that car. That's the 67 of Jason Dale. Well, Tony Timlick was able to keep running laps unlike the rest of them after that. So
he's like 3 laps ahead or so or something.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, is that car on fire?
And fuego.
Oh, the 42, Kyle Deshaw's putting on a show?
It's the special effects. It's fine.
It is.
Ralph Huther is 2nd, by the way, from dead last.
Well, good for Ralph.
All right, so we're going to take a second. We got to get some stalled cars up and moving, and kind of like we did the mini bump to pass. While we do that, we're going to show you everything that you may have seen or may have missed. Oh, that's a nice little turnaround.
Yargis.
Beautiful.
Dump a car and also give Brooke her first shot.
Nice. I like it. Did you see the evasive driving as Timlick goes, threads the needle between the 2 Uke tires?
Yeah, that was quality skill right there. Now here's Kolar.
Into Dale
around, but then got himself real loose.
It's okay.
And then,
there's Dale again.
And then that's Sheridan Vincent in the Barbie Dream car. Oh, on board with Tony Timlick. We got on board in the bump pass.
We do with that same spin out. Okay, now here's Kolar and Brooke Yargis. And Yargis into Dale, into the 76 of Brandon Dale. There was a lot of Dale on Dale action there. Throw in Chip, and you've got some rescue rangers coming through.
Sheridan...
From Vincent.
That's not how you avoid an accident.
No, but did he really have anywhere to go?
I don't know. Does that car have any steering? I thought he was just pulling 2 strings left and right.
Steering optional. Brooke Yargis quite literally in the kind of traffic jam that we're more used to on 5 and 405. All right, the cars will get cleared. We'll get the lineup ready to go. We'll finish the Northwest Bump to Pass feature after this here on Home Track Heroes. Well, the Northwest Bump to Pass feature about to get ready, up and going here in our final segment of the day on Home Track Heroes. Big ol' thank you to the fine folks at All Ply Roofing. They have sponsored our show all year long. I'm Caleb Hart. He is the king of the Danish, Ben Iman, as we are back to green flag action here in the Bump to Pass main.
Good run right now. Looks like Tony Timlick's out in front. Jacob Thornborough, the Patriot Act, running behind him. There's Rick Yargis in the 17 next. That's the National Lampoon station wagon.
Is that what it is?
Well, it's also got a sprint wing on it.
Yeah, well, he's got the belly of a sprint wing on it. He doesn't have the side panels.
That's true.
So he's not getting any of the side bite, but he is getting the downforce over the back end of a fully equipped station wagon.
Well, you know,
complete with the groceries that he went and shopped for earlier in the day at Monroe Grocery Outlet.
You know, if I can shave a 10th off my race car, I'm doing it.
Right. These aren't necessarily race cars, though. They're weapons of racing destruction.
They are weapons of racing destruction. We're looking at one of those. Bryce Kolar in the 23. It's simple.
This is for your lead, by the way.
Yeah, this is a good battle. This is Ralph Huther. He's giving Timlick the business, and he pushes Timlick up onto the 3/8 oval.
Oh, but we've seen Timlick shoot that gap between the Uke tires before and come back. Look at that. Oh, sending around Bryce Kolar for a ride with Sheridan Vincent.
Sheridan Vincent, the Barbie dream car, given no dream vacations there to Bryce Kolar. Now he's just having to bump Huther and try to get back. Oh, are they stuck together?
No, I think you've got one turning left and the other turning right. And look at that. Here comes Yargis trying to roll back in, and Tony the Tiger trying to get back involved in it with 8 to go.
I think Huther's still your leader here, and then Yargis, Kolar, Timlick, lots of cars charging hard and wanting to charge into each other.
Now maybe here is where the sprint car wing belly comes into play as Kolar, whole lot of front bumper to the back of Yargis. Well, we told you that All Ply Roofing is our show sponsor, and well, they want to know, is your roof keeping up with all the weather Washington dishes out? You call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate. It's allplyroofing.com on the web, your residential and commercial roofing team, All Ply Roofing.
Thank you to the friends at All Ply Roofing for helping making Home Track Heroes happen every week, and they're on board with some of the cars here. Just great allies and friends at Evergreen Speedway.
Hard to believe this is season 6 of Home Track Heroes at this point in time. Tony the Tiger Timlick has been here for nearly all of the Northwest Bump to Pass features, and he is trying to close in on Huther, who's got a little tire smoke showing, rubbing on the fender well. But Huther kind of rather be out in front with all this room right now as he's coming up on Brooke Yargis and needs to lay a licking on her when he gets to go by.
Absolutely. Even the lap traffic must be bumped to go by. Rick Yargis still piloting here. Looks like Tony the Tiger is going to come up on the Lampoon station wagon and might lay a licking or two. Rick's coming up on Brooke, and they're running single file right now. We'll see if they can, any of these drivers are able to get a move.
Now, this is a father coming up on his daughter. Let's see if all of those years of, Dad, you need me to take me to, comes into play here.
We'll see. He's going around the outside, setting the move up. No bump yet.
Oh, come on, Rick.
He's going to pass her clean.
You only have so many opportunities to ram your daughter with a race car legally.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Rick. Did not take that opportunity.
I would have.
I'm going to say he loses style points for not bumping the lap car.
10 out of 10 should have sent her.
Should have bumped the lap car. Although, is Rick going to be the one to end up working on it?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, so he's just been causing himself more work. That's fair. Huther is coming to the checkered flag, and that'll do it. Northwest Bump to Pass. Main event winner, Ralph Huther.
Yargis and Timlick round out that group. That was a lot of fun to watch the big cars kind of try to bump and tuggle and just absolutely shred each other.
Well, they ended up not having as much carnage as we thought there would be, although it's been a good little run of Bump to Pass. We've got one more on the docket for you, ladies and gentlemen, the World Championships of Figure 8 Bus Racing. It is Chad Capps in the 10 bus. Jalen Vick is the 25 bus. Second row, April Kittleson, the 43 bus, and Michael Duncan in the 78 bus.
The struggle bus is Jake Reppin piloting the 45. He'll start next to the 911 of Buddy Hunt. Gabe Salters in the 20 tonight, starting next to the undisputed champion of bus racing, the 18 of Jeff Ritter.
And the final row, the red bus, that's Derek Myers, and the 55 is Nathan Bubba Olin. So 10 buses going an indeterminate amount of laps, however many we want them to go.
That's right.
Now, this year, a little bit different. The buses are running more competitively, so Yeah, at the same time, more competitively.
Yeah, they're running a little bit more competitively, a little bit more structure.
We'll try to keep you involved, with who's actually leading and stuff. We've actually got real race car drivers now and race bus drivers.
All of these buses are also running McGonigal 425 crate motors.
Really?
Yep. We're gonna make sure we're giving them lots of speed.
Interesting. Well, that works for me.
I don't know how well it really works out in a bus and on a very short figure 8 classes.
Whoa.
Oh, the pencil just run over the struggle bus.
Yeah, the pencil, that's April Kittleson.
Now, that is a fun fact, Caleb.
Okay.
April Kittleson is a real school bus driver.
Well, all these people are bus drivers.
Well, yes, they're all, but I mean, that's her day job.
Really?
Yes.
She's
from
around
Darrington.
a school bus.
Yep, she's from Darrington. She brought quite the crowd out here tonight, some fan clubs. And
can you imagine the latent aggression that's going to be there in Kittleson, having to bus the entire town of Darrington to school every day?
Oh, I'm sure she was cut for this.
It's going to work out quite well for her. That bus already got 2 wheels up in the air, too. I saw it.
And this bus rolling through here, I believe that's the 78, Michael Duncan. That is the Spirit of Lost Luggage, the American Airlines bus. So if you've lost luggage at some point, it's in that bus.
Never on American, though.
Oh, sure. Delta, United, Continental, Spirit, Frontier, Alaska, Allegiant, Emirates, British Airways, Aer Lingus. You want me to keep going?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Chad Capps making a position. Oh, the Shark bus was on the hunt. Jalen Vick, tired of watching Brother Jonah take all the accolades here on Home Track Heroes and winning in the Spec Ranger, was about to get funky with his bus and take somebody out.
I'm getting word that Jalen Vick actually went into the pits and found Jacob Thornborough's tragic school bus. He also found a traveling witch doctor who performed a spell and turned it into a full-size bus, therefore looking like that A10 Warthog, same kind of paint scheme and now a real bus, and he's running away with it.
Capps nearly getting back to the back of the VBR bus, who may or may not be your leader. I'm not sure. We'll decide later. Oh, yeah, that's a thumbs up. Okay, he is. All right, so this is the in-bus camera, and we have to thank the Bjornsons. Yeah, so Brandy usually does a fantastic job.
Is he wearing this GoPro? Yeah, he's wearing the GoPro.
It's the helmet cam.
Oh.
Beautiful, provided he's wearing a helmet and just doesn't have, like, attached to a mohawk or something.
Oh, my goodness, that's awesome for the 911. Help is on the way in that bus. Oh, that bus right there, the 20 bus, that's Gabe Salter. I'm also getting, that is the remnants of notorious cheater Jonathan Peterson's bus.
Jonathan Peterson.
He was finally, unfortunately, suspended. This time, he's suspended for the season. This time, not for bus racing cheating, actually, but it terms for off-the-field issues, is what I'm being told.
He was looking at me funny.
Is that really all it was? Okay.
He's been looking at me funny for 6 years. I get it.
All right. Well, you know what? You heard it here first, folks. Don't look at Caleb Hart the wrong way.
David Nelson with the drone shot of the bus at figure 8, the red bus of Derek Myers sneaking through the intersection.
Chad Capps.
Michael Duncan getting through with very little incident, but boy, he is set up for Capps. If Capps just wanted to door him right here, he could do it.
Is it dooring him, or is it like, what is it for bus racing? Because that's more than just a door.
I mean, it's a side paneling.
It's side paneling?
Yeah, side paneling. There is Vic. More control over that than the Spec Ranger that his brother ran.
Yeah, this getting around here. Oh, they're too wide through. Oh,
careful there. Is that Bubba? No, that was Buddy Hunt who just missed the all-white bus collision.
Bubba and Jake Reppin are running short buses.
Smaller buses.
Okay, smaller
little baby buses.
Little baby buses. The struggle bus is making its way out there, and
these shorter, easier to turn wheelbase buses.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
Like that one right there, with complete with neon on it, so we can see it easier. Oh! That's fantastic. Oh, big old shot to the 911. Buddy Hunt took a whole lot of bus from the side from Michael Duncan. Buzzinga.
Is that
Buzzinga?
Buzzinga. Is that bus even still running? It's spill. That bus is spewing something. The Vic bus is something was pouring out of it. Could have just been water, for all we know.
That's all the excess talent coming from Jonah Vic.
Oh man, that was a lot.
It's in liquid form. It's kind of weird.
Oh.
As we take a look at the 45, Jake Reppin.
He's running in second right now. Good run for Jake Reppin. And I actually heard that they made some serious improvements in that bus since week number 1.
I would believe it.
He took the emergency brake off this time.
That would help a ton. Oh, I like that little baby bus with all of the flashes on it. Which baby bus is that?
I think the flashies, that is Bubba Oland in the 55. That's the Wilkinson family bus right there.
Okay.
I'm calling that the rave bus.
Oh, wow. Somebody get out some, yeah, we need the glow sticks, and we need the terrible repetitive EDM music. Yeah, go Bubba.
Yeah, that is, to drive that, you are forced to listen to Sandstorm by Darude on constant loop. Oh, he's just moving the uke tire. That killed the rave lights for a moment, but
it's a bus. It's gonna bust its way through that. Bust a bus.
Yeah, Derek Myers, Patriots pride, trying to move that red bus forward.
Oh, look at the wheel art on that.
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm saying. They're very prideful. They had to put a little bit extra in it after it was just red, and I told them that wasn't good enough, and I was going to call it terrible things.
And you did, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Gabe Salter, that's the spirit of lost luggage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's lost it all.
No, Michael Duncan's the spirit of lost luggage.
That's Jeff Ritter. Hello, Jeff.
That's the undisputed champion.
Yeah, we have not talked about you enough. Nobody has more bus racing laps than Jeff Ritter, even if they are, by and large, kind of like this one, really slow laps.
That's all right, Jeff.
Right?
The championships all count, including his 4 championships that were all won after everyone else was disqualified.
Jonah had to tap the brakes there. And that goes our real bus driver. The real bus driver, April Kittleson. That's the one with the pink at the tail end of it, the pencil bus.
The white flag is out, Caleb, for the 25. Jalen Vick only has one more lap around the 8.
Get him, Jalen. Coming up. See if he can thump Riddleson one more time. Just one more time. It'll be great. As look out, the 911 just barely misses it. And we should be seeing a checkered flag. It is the Vick Brothers show. They've won in 2 different divisions here.
That's right. The A10 Bus Hog.
Sure.
A10 Wart Bus.
We got a winner. We're going to get a podium out of the whole deal. Second? Who do we want to give second to?
It's Jake Reppin. It's
Reppin?
the struggle bus.
All right. Reppin can have second. I'm all right with that.
He can have second if he holds off April Kittleson in third. Our real bus driver is about to get on a real podium.
She's storming her way back here to the end as one of the buses cut the corner. And to the checkered. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's Reppin, it's Riddleson, and the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
The fans want to know, what's the school bus like?
Okay, so I'm actually a bus driver for Darrington School District. Darrington in the house! So all the kids that ride my bus, I promise parents I don't drive like that.
Hey, you put on a good show out there. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Vincent's Racing for letting me drive this school bus. It was awesome.
Third place tonight, April Kittleson. You got a slightly smaller bus than a lot of the field. Does that affect anything at all?
It may be slightly smaller, but it's a non-turbo diesel, so it is a struggle to keep that thing moving.
Hey, you did a pretty good job. You brought it home second. Who would you like to thank for that?
Oh, first I'd like to thank Evergreen Speedway, for giving us all these race teams out here the opportunity to run these buses. And, a little plug for my business as far as providing the steel, Reppin, welding, and rail.
Jake Reppin, driver of the struggle bus, is your second place finisher. It's got the big shark mouth on it. Seems like it's a ton of fun to wheel around. Does the shark mouth make it faster?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Man, I think it adds 30 horsepower, honestly. That thing was a fast thing out there.
Putting on a show, wheeling it around the figure 8. Who would you like to thank for that?
Oh, my mom and dad, Tracy Kelly for helping me paint it yesterday. We painted it yesterday and today. Mariana, Sophia, my brother, my mom, my dad. The track for putting this on, and I would like to thank all the veterans for coming out today and everyone that came out today.
The 25, Jalen Vick, your bus race winner!
Well, there we go. Fantastic edition of Home Track Heroes, as always, is in the books. Looking forward to next week's show. DriftCon is coming up. Team Tandem going to be on the show. We will welcome back Super Ben White, amongst others. It should be a great time. Ben Iman, next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway is Saturday, June 14th, and that is Figure 8-a-Palooza.
Yeah, lots on the dock for that. Outlaws, Super Stocks, stingers, and more. It's going to be a great night at the Super Speedway of the West.
Northwest Vintage Modifieds are coming. Focus Midgets will make an appearance as well. Should be an absolute blast of a time. And if you guys enjoy this here on Home Track Heroes, you got to get out to the track and experience it for yourself. So again, DriftCon coming next Sunday. We'll see you Saturday the 14th out in the grandstands. For Ben, who is still locked out of his truck, for the Hobbses for putting the show together, and our entire Seattle 11 crew, my name is Caleb Hart. See ya next Sunday night here on Seattle 11 for more Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.